Aladdin is another live-action Disney remake starring Will Smith and some other people. I know, I'll get to you later. Sorry about that. From the director of Snatch comes a live-action musical about a thief who pretends to be a prince with the help of a blue Will Smith. The movie is in color, and it even has a soundtrack. I was a teenager when the original came out, but despite that, I still enjoyed it. These old Disney movies have incredible stories, great messaging for kids, and they deserve better, because so far, I've only liked one of these remakes.
Oh, there's a big surprise! That's an incredible... I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise!
Disney animation is the best. You can watch the original from almost 30 years ago, and it still looks great. And if director Guy Richie did something creative or interesting with it, I wouldn't have minded so much, but it's almost an exact copy. Some smaller things in the story may have changed a little, but if you've seen the animated movie, you're not missing anything new. Except for maybe 2 new songs that were pretty awful, but I'll get to that. So, the elephant in the room, Blue Will Smith. Honestly, I didn't think it was that awful, and yes, it doesn't look great, but believe it or not, Will Smith is actually the best part of this movie. There are many scenes where Will Smith isn't animated, and those are the best moments of the film. When he's in human form and is allowed being himself, he's very charming, very funny, and you understand why they would cast him as the genie. But as soon as he turns blue, that all goes away. And yes, some of it is because of how he looks, but most of it has to do with Robin Williams. He was the one who set the bar, he was absolutely fantastic in the original, so every time you see a blue genie in this movie, you feel like something's missing. Which is why a shot-for-shot remake is always gonna be worse than doing something different. The only thing that was added, not changed, added to the story was that Princess Jasmine, instead of marrying a prince, wanted to rule as sultan. That was such a small part of the film that they could have just not bothered. Naomi Scott as the princess was fine, but she did have some terrible new song that felt completely out of place. So you might recall that I'm not a big fan of movie musicals. There's something about a scene suddenly breaking out into song and dance that just annoys the fuck out of me. I know, right? The leads in the movie, especially Aladdin himself, were not the best. The biggest problem is that everybody except Will Smith was stage acting. Stage acting is what people do on Broadway. They exaggerate their facial expressions, their body language. It's a performance that works well on stage, but it doesn't translate to film. And because of this, the characters felt empty and fake. Mina Massoud, the actor who plays Aladdin, was annoyingly over the top, and his songs were the worst. The actor who played Jafar, the villain of the movie, wasn't menacing at all. I mean, it says a lot when a cartoon character looks and sounds more intimidating than an actual actor.
You stumbled upon an opportunity. I can make you rich.
Bring me the lamp. The rest of the treasure is yours, but the lamp is mine.
So this remake exists somewhere between the animation and the Broadway show, which I hear is pretty good. So who is this movie for exactly? Because it's not for me, and it's not for my niece, who loves Disney, by the way. Guy Richie expressed how very little experience he had with making a movie like this, and it shows. It doesn't look great, and I'm not talking about the CG, which is okay at best. I'm talking about the cinematography, because it looks like a soap opera. Every scene is brightly lit from all angles, and much like the actors themselves, it doesn't feel real. It looks and feels like you're watching a Broadway production on a soundstage, which kinda sums up the entire movie. Aladdin does have some fun moments with Will Smith, but not enough to build a movie around. I'm still a big fan of Disney, I have high hopes for Jon Favreau's Lion King, and I'll be the first to subscribe to Disney Plus, but they need to either stop doing these remakes or just be better, because Aladdin is a half-eaten sandwich. How you doing? You good? You want a banana? Okay, go get it. So gullible. This is gonna hurt.